everybody, John Ponick with the Mojave Valley Daily News. We are here for our regular Wednesday Q&A. Today, I am joined by
Billy.
It's Billy Chooniyom, the Development Services Director / building official for Bullhead City. How are you, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Hello, everybody.
First of all, last week we thought that Billy was going to be on. It was my fault. We had kind of miscommunicated where and when we were going to meet. So when we said that he couldn't make it, he was ready. He called me about quarter after and said, "Are you coming or what?" So that was my issue. So I'm glad you could we could coordinate this and that you're here. We got a pile of stuff to go through. A lot of awesome information. I met with Billy for a few minutes yesterday, and we kind of went over some of the things we're going to talk about, and things that I thought I knew everything about, I was woefully wrong. So if you have questions, put them in the chat, and we'll try and get to them. Understand, Billy is not economic development, he is building. So he can talk to you about buildings that are in process, things that are just finishing up and getting ready to open, some of the other plans for the future. But as far as, hey, we would like a new restaurant or Olive Garden or whatever, that is Toby. I'll give you his cell number when we're done here. You can call him directly, and he'd be glad to hear from you. Right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's talk about some things that are either completed or are getting ready to be completed and opened up. First, let's start with the expansion at El Charro.
Okay, El Charro is a Mexican restaurant that have expanded to the east side, which is have enough area that for having private party, meeting, wedding reception. It's an area also have a cocktail bar, right? With it.
Cocktail bar.
Yeah.
From what I hear, I don't, no, I'm kidding. Yes. Yes. We love El Charro for
Yes.
sure.
And they got a good food there too.
Yeah, really good food. Homemade. They make their own homemade tortillas.
Tortillas,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yes,
good.
sir.
You also have the Miyu Thai restaurant that just remodeled.
Yes. That Thai restaurant is on Hancock. They brighten up the place and also add the front section into the place. So they got a lot more room and nice looking place and good Thai food. I can say that.
Yes, he can say that because Billy used to own a Thai restaurant.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So
That's the Thai River on 3rd Street and Highway 95.
3rd Street and Highway 95. So if you're looking for a recommendation straight from the expert, now you've got it. All right, so this is one that a lot of people don't know anything about, is the Phoenix Cancer Center down on Hancock and Lakeside.
Yes, if you look at that building, you just thought, what that big building doing right there by itself? Actually, that's belong to Phoenix Cancer Institute, which is inside that building have radiation machine to give treatment to the cancer patient.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very strong building, and the equipment is pretty giant. So
Were you the one that had to go out and inspect that?
yes, sir. I inspect from foundation all the way up to finish.
Yeah.
And issue the CO. Yes.
So you're a certified building official, so I guess that with all the codes and building codes and everything, that's stuff that you just have to keep refreshing on. Were you familiar with the codes that guide building a facility like that? Because they've got super thick concrete steel walls and stuff, right?
Right. First of all, they're going to have to present us an engineer plan, and after that, go to the plan examiner, reviewing all the detail, and then I will, as an inspector, go out, inspect exactly what is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, from foundation on, then the wall, how thick it is, what type of steel should be in there, and also sometimes the engineer also that seal the plan also required the special inspector. That means just come to look at certain thing for
Right.
that building.
Make sure that it didn't have any leakage or seepage or anything of the radiation.
That's
That
correct.
kind of stuff. Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yep.
So they should be. Do you know when they're going to be opening up?
They are now.
Oh, they're open now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's done.
All right. And I think the way I was told is that it's treatment only. It's
Yes.
not diagnosis. That's something that you would be diagnosed somewhere else and brought over
And
there
have the
for
treatment here.
treatment. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
that's correct.
all right. Well, that's a big deal for sure. We have the escape room, Driving You Bananas escape room. That was something Jeff and I went out and took a look at. That's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Aspen Dental.
Aspen Dental, they during the first construction, they have incident. The engineer truss have defected on that, so it's cracked. Luckily, not major injury on that, so that's but lucky part. And now they presented with a new plan, new revised truss and all that. So they continue the construction now.
Yeah, and so that's the facility directly across from like Woody's, that area over there.
Across street from McCormick shopping strip mall.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Any idea on completion for that? I know that with everything that happened, they have to have a revised.
Yeah, probably the end of the year.
Okay. All right. So they're getting pretty close on that. At one point, during COVID, we were talking about the dining structures. So you see places like Sylvia Lindo, Black Mountain Bistro. There's a few places that build outdoor structures so that people could eat outside to kind of alleviate some of the requirements for
Safety
eating there.
distance.
Yeah, yeah. But they also there was a program that was in place, a state funding that was in place to help them build these structures.
Yes, state have a program to help out all the owner of the restaurant by, you have to apply for it. And maximum, I believe, $10,000 per restaurant. And I'm not sure how many that get it, but it was, I think, only $100,000 program, so it's over now
For the whole state?
for the whole state.
Oh, boy, that had to
Yeah.
go quick. Are
Yeah.
you going to, so if, let's say Black Mountain Bistro, they've got that whole strip there and the parking lot, and they decide that they're going to build this thing out in the parking lot, is that something that has to go through you?
Yes.
Okay.
But our city manager, Toby Carter, allow us to say that if they use a certain part of the parking lot and it's not interfere with the rest of the retail or shop next door, we're just going to go ahead and allow them to do so.
Do you have to make sure that they're not covering up the handicap spots or those kinds of things, or?
Of course, we will check that it's enough parking for that area.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
especially disabled handicap or parking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be an issue. With the restrictions being lifted now, is that something you're going to make them take it back down, or?
We're gonna let it keep going until, if somebody complain about it, then we have to take that issue up with the city manager.
Oh, okay, okay, good. All right, this is the exciting part here. New companies.
Start here and go back.
You want to start there?
Yeah.
All
What
right.
do you think?
You know what? I would love to start there.
Okay, good.
All right. This is one I've been waiting on for a while, and I am so ready. Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's. Yes, they're coming to town. The plan have to be already been approved, but what we're waiting for them is to give us a general contractor name that's going to be doing the building and doing the work, and subcontractor list that who they're going to use as the help. Also, they have to demo the old building there, the car wash first.
Right. So Jimmy John's corporate has the plans, and this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
They run the plans through you. You guys say yay or nay. When they get approved plans, then they have to provide you with a general contractor and a subcontractor list.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then is that something so that you know that they're all bonded and insured and all that?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're at the point right now where you're waiting to hear from that,
Yes.
from them on that, and then I'm guessing one of their subcontractors. If you don't know, Jimmy John's is going down right by Woody's gas station. There's a little car wash there that,
On the corner.
yeah, it's like concrete block or cinder block. It seems like it's been abandoned for a long, long time.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they even use that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be afraid to fire that thing back up right now anyway.
Yeah.
So they're going to demolish that, and then they're going to put it in there.
The new building.
And a lot of these people that we're talking about run into the same issue, having to deal with the Arizona Department of Transportation.
Yes.
Everybody on Highway 95.
Yes. Arizona Department of Transportation is very well, and kind of understand that they're concerned about safety, but sometimes when you want it on the Highway 95, you would like to have entrance and exit from that Highway 95.
Yeah.
But they've been trying to limit most of the driveway.
Yeah.
So that kind of create a lot of problem for our businesses coming. Example, Dunkin' Donuts, which is already planned ahead of Jimmy John's, because ADOT don't want them to use the entrance that already have it there. So they kind of delay everything.
Yeah, we had heard for a while there that Dunkin' Donuts was looking at
The corner of North Urban Road and Highway 95.
right over here,
Yep.
right down the street.
Right down the street.
Yes. Okay. Can you step that one up a little bit? Because that's walking distance.
Believe me, I try.
Just
But,
don't even look at it. Just
yeah.
stamp it, move it on, and let's go. All right. So that was an egress and ingress kind of situation off of Highway
Off
95.
of Highway 95.
All right.
In fact, Jimmy John don't even have ingress or egress from Highway 95. They're going to be on Long and on Ash.
That's
But
the backside.
ADOT's still concerned about, well, you're in the corner, so you might create more traffic.
Yeah, they had no issues with putting those medians in, but sure, the driveway's going to be a problem. What did she say? Anything coming down to the lower valley? Bullhead City, Mrs. Pinecker. That would be the county. That lady, she's a real thorn in our side here.
Oh.
That Maria Pinecker, she's always. It's my wife. All right. Did you want to go down to this last one and then work up?
Yes, sir. That's
All right.
fine.
Another one that we're very interested in because it's going to be, again, walking distance from here, Popeye's Chicken.
Yes.
Can you tell us exactly where the location's going to
It's
be?
going to be right in front of Ace Hardware, right between Wendy and Jack in the Box.
It's going to be down there, not up in, it's
On
going to
the
be in the
Miracle
Riverview?
Mile. Miracle Mile.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be in the Riverview parking lot,
Yes, but
like
it's-
KFC, but down at that end.
Right,
Okay.
the north side of
Okay.
that parking lot.
All right, great.
Yeah. So then they just resubmit the second set of plan to be approved. And I believe our engineering department already approved the site plan, so,
Are you an engineer?
no, sir.
It's different, engineer and inspector, right?
Yes, sir.
Because
different.
we were talking yesterday how you ended up here. Where are we at for time? We're good. You have to tell us the story of how you ended up here, because this is awesome.
2007, I ended up in Louisiana after Katrina to help out the city of New Orleans and Jefferson Parish, St. Bernard, Terrebonne, a lot of area there. So I went there to help out training the local inspector.
For how long? You were supposed to be there?
I'm supposed to be there 6 months.
6
I
months.
asked my wife, dear, I need to go to Louisiana for 6 months. And first she said no, but then I talked her out, then she said, okay, you can go 6 months. So from 2007, I still there in early 2012. One day I get a phone call from my lovely wife, said, dear, you have an appointment. So I said, what doctor I have to see now, since I'm kind of older person? She said, no, it's not a doctor. It's the city of Bullhead City. I said, what city of Bullhead City want from me? She said, because they want to talk to you, I put in the application for you. So I said, okay, dear. I fly in Saturday and then went to interview on Tuesday. And I supposed to hear from the city for 2 weeks. But 2 days later, Thursday, they said the job is yours if you want it, so I'm here.
That's funny. So your wife put in the application, which is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, I love
She
that.
said that 6 months is too long.
That's funny. Well, that had to be a heck of a job down in New Orleans following Hurricane Katrina and having to rebuild all that stuff for sure.
It's a big mess.
Yeah.
I have 27 building inspector work under me.
Well, that's a lot. All right, so you're waiting on resubmittal of the second set of plans from Popeyes, or did you say you got them now?
We got
got
a
'em?
second set.
Okay.
We examine it right now, so.
All right. So I would assume that you go through the same thing. You're going to need their list, I would assume, a corporate
Okay.
thing of their GC and subs and all that.
Yes, sir.
Before they get going. Are we
Yes.
hoping that there's something they could break ground on it maybe yet this year still?
I hope so. By the end of the, just a few more months, I think we should be breaking ground for that one.
Okay. All right. Let's move up. The old Lucky 13 building. Again, same area as Jimmy John's and Aspen Dental, the south end of Bullhead. The old Lucky 13 building is now quality marble and granite.
Yes. Is the company from Ontario, California. They supply some of the contractor here already, so they said, why don't we just move our operation to Bullhead City? So that's how it happened, and we work with the owner himself, the Evan Cohn. So they working very hard. It should be open, soft open by the end of this month.
That's got to be a TI kind of thing, right? A tenant improvement thing?
Yeah, or even a new home, countertop, marble countertop, bathroom countertop, island, bath, shower compartment.
All that kind of construction materials.
Yes, construction
And you
materials.
said they were already supplying construction materials to our contractors in the area. Now they can do it locally as well as do a retail center.
Yes,
So I could walk in there, or my darling wife could walk in there and get some granite countertops or something.
yes, sir.
Yes. And then we have another construction supply, I guess kind of construction supply.
Yes.
I've been driving past this building now. Well, I've been driving past the building for a long time, but
Yeah.
I've been driving past for a while now, seeing the big Gemini sign up there, and not that I'm speeding. I'm just saying I may be moving a little too fast to read what the sign says, but it is Gemini Industries. What can you tell us about Gemini Industries?
Gemini Industries is a company that supply wood finished products, stain, lacquer, primer, and sealer, urethane, and support material, brush, paint, those kind of thing. In fact, we kind of lucky that our city was choose from them. They are from El Reno, Oklahoma, and they choose us to be the big warehouse in southwest here because it's a distribution center for Southern California, Phoenix area, and also Las Vegas. So it's gonna be good for us.
Our location close to the highways, our location, I guess, close to the railroad probably helps some as well. We'll talk about it in a minute, but I got to think that these numbers that you have on here have something to do with why they want to be here as well. 'Cause
Yes.
these are gonna. We'll talk. This is the annual report going back 10 years, but the annual report on the building division. Yeah, so this is building permits and multifamily and business and all that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But
Yes.
Is Gemini open now, or are they still
They
working on it?
they start their shop opening now, but the retail is not open yet. They're just gonna take the order from Southern California, Phoenix, and Las Vegas, and they can start ship the merchandise there. So
Okay, good. All right. So I'm going to move into the next one here, which to me is out of everything in here, this is going to end up being the Mac Daddy of everything we're doing. This is the 268 acres of land in the heart of Bullhead City. It's right over here on Highway 95, directly across from Swanty's there. It is, what is it, Lakeside? No.
okay, Highway 95 on the north, Marina on the north, Highway 95 on the east, Lakeside Drive on the west, and then south side is Riverview.
All right, so that big giant square there going almost all the way down to Rotary.
Yes.
Park.
In fact, the southwest corner is Rotary Park.
Directly across
Yes.
there. All right. So this is the land that was recently purchased. I think it was 120 million.
No, I think it was $2.4 million.
Yeah, that's what I meant, 2.4 million. It was bought by Ali, the guy that owns the City Center,
Yes.
by his
City
company,
Square. Yes,
City
sir.
Square.
Yes, sir.
And there's been a bunch of discussion on what's going to happen there. We saw some signs going up that it's for sale. What can you tell us about where we're at right now in the development of that?
Well, the city asked for the master plan from the developer to make sure what they put there is good for the city. So, but the idea is they're going to split in two halves. The east half, which is Highway 95 half, going to be major department store, major retail store, major restaurant type of deal, and shop and store type, the first half. The second half of that
Careful with your wording here. Careful with your wording.
The second half probably be residential, apartment building, condo, and possible hotel.
Possible hotel. All right. So there's a lot to unpack here. We keep getting people when we posted about this earlier today and last week. We asked people, anytime we talk about economic development and building and that, we get a lot of people saying, I want an Olive Garden, I want a El Pollo Loco, I want a Whole Foods, I want all these kinds of things. There are a lot of, we're kind of handcuffed on that, on the economic development side, because a lot of these people request that it needs to be a median household income of so much, or it needs to have so many
Population.
The population within 5 miles has to be so much, or whatever. However, we've been very good on the economic development side, and talking specifically about Toby and the people that work on that, with convincing these people that these businesses will work here because look at Chili's and look at how good they're doing, or look at this company and look how good they're doing, because we get all these other people into town.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild Wings, another great family restaurant.
Culver.
So when you have this thing set up where you've got this frontage and it is a master planned community, I guess you'd call it, between the
Yes.
residential and the commercial there, that is something that should make it even more attractive to bring businesses into town, and you're on the main thoroughfare right through town.
Of course, yes. We hope so. That's going to be a lot more major company that interested in us.
So that's the first part.
Yes.
The second part is we are getting daily, we're getting complaints that the rental prices are so high because there's no inventory. A single family affordable housing is just not there because there's no inventory. The construction teams that we have in town are working as hard as they can, as you know.
It's a small amount of them.
Right, and they're still not able to fulfill everybody. They're still, yeah, I can build your house, but it's going to be 6 months down the road. You're talking about residential, 4-story apartment, condo, possibly a hotel, but the hotel would be more to serve the people that are down at Rotary for our sports.
Visiting our city, yes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We do have, well, I kind of work a lot with Toby now on the economic developments too.
Oh, see, you didn't tell me that 20 minutes ago. I'd have pounded you with economic.
Yeah, I kind of on the sideline. We working on some project to bring in the affordable housing. Okay, gonna be both south side of town, north side of town, wherever that we can find a location because of what you just said.
Right.
We don't have enough rental property.
Yeah.
So yes, we're working on that very hard, and the future look pretty good.
The future looks bright.
Right.
We did talk about, you have a question, Jeff? There are a lot of empty storefronts. Why do these places not use them instead of new? Is
They're
it,
talking about like
Well, there are a lot of empty storefronts along Highway 95, but what is the attraction of doing a tenant improvement on an existing home or existing business versus building a new one? People like Popeyes and Jimmy John's, and they have their footprint, and this is just what it is going to be.
The corporation have their own footprint that you have to follow. They're not going to take over some another building to get in.
And when you talk about people like Olive Garden, they have the same thing, or Chili's, they have the same thing. Those people are very...
Applebee,
Yeah. When you have somebody, a Quality or Gemini, they went into the old Zubrix building, so they just TI'd that. Quality Marble went into the old Lucky 13 building, so they just tenant and improved that. So some of them, if they're able to do that, they will do that if it makes financial sense.
And we will work with anybody that want to come in town to open the business.
Mm-hmm.
But we have rule and regulation to follow, so.
Yeah. I think another thing that we probably need to address on this is you've got the whole Target Center down there. So why would you do that same thing up here, similar thing anyway, when there's so many of them that are empty down there?
We are working on that.
Okay.
Part of the future was there.
It's, you know what, I know I was at some of the meetings where we talked with the owners down at the was it Crossroads, I think is what it's called down there?
Yes.
And you still have to deal with an owner and a management company when it comes to that, and sometimes that's not the easiest thing to do versus what we're talking about with Ali.
Too many hands in the cookie jar.
Yes. Okay. Was there something else on there that about Aldi's and the old Bed Bath & Beyond, office supply store? Again, Aldi's is going to be the same thing. Olive Garden, those are all things that may be attractive once we get this planned over here. But the first step is really putting in roads, right?
Yes.
That's part of this, the master plan development is going to be where you're going to put roads.
Going to show where the road going to go run to those parcels.
So when they do that, do they have to look at the, and say, all right, this would be a good spot for Kohl's, or this would be a good spot for a 10,000 square foot building, and this would be a good spot for a 100,000 square foot building?
Yes, that's when the architect and engineer come in.
Yeah.
They're the one who decide that, okay, we should have put this department store here, the retail here, the food chain here.
Well, that's another one within walking distance of us, so if you need any help with that, let me know. I'll be happy to come over and sketch out my ideas on what I think.
No problem at all.
I got a YouTube question for you.
Sure.
We got let's see who this is. Lane is asking, what about a water park? Like Lake Havasu has. I didn't know Lake Havasu had a water park.
And either is he talking about the slides and into a big outdoor
Possibly,
pool and that?
but they want to know.
Okay, the water park was planned with the Holiday Inn Express, but the company decided that it's too much liability.
Yeah.
And that's the major thing about people right now is liability on accident or something happened. So that's why they kind of scratched that part off, but it's still probably going to be a little swimming pool and those kind of things.
I think there's something he's not telling us. We do know that they did change the design to bring the swimming pool at the Holiday Inn completely indoors.
Yes,
right. So
they are indoor.
That's kind of caused some delays on that. So now we're looking. We don't have a date on it yet, but sometime the end of next month, early September, somewhere in there, hopefully.
Yes, they will try to open for the last major holiday, which is Labor Day weekend.
All right.
But I'm not sure.
I'm going to blast through a couple things here because we're already at a half hour, and we try not to go over that. But
we can have him back. We can get him back again.
No, we'll have him back for sure. Working on.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Working on the Laughlin Bullhead International Airport expansion.
Yes.
The Super Circle K, which is down on like 4th Street?
4th and 5th Street.
Yeah, and that's going to take up that whole block, make it easier for people to bring boats in and all that.
Yes.
How's that progressing?
Yes. Right now, they are working on the traffic study, so they can have opening again on Highway 95.
ADOT?
ADOT.
ADOT involved? Yeah. We knew
Yes.
that was gonna be from. All right, I want to go, before we close this out, I want to go over these numbers. These are the City of Bullhead City Building Division Annual Report. We have fiscal year, which is July 1 to June 30th
Yes,
of the next year.
yes,
In fiscal year 2011-12, so 10 years ago, single-family residences, you did 30 permits. Last year, you did 402 permits.
yes.
Yeah. 13
I hope,
times.
I hope his pay went up.
Yeah, your pay went up 13 times too, right? Yeah, pretty close?
Yeah, I
Not
hope so.
quite. We had about the same amount of commercial, 105 versus, 84. But it's just the numbers as you watch them go and go and go. I mean, there's a lot of commercial. The commercial stays pretty standard all the way through it. The value of the commercial ones seem to increase a little bit, but the single-family residences valuation, the permit, $87 million last year versus 53 the year before.
Yes,
The total valuation of all the building last year was $103.5 million, right?
yes,
So $103.5 million, that was up about 50% or so. Went from 75 million up to
yeah.
103 million.
maybe 40%.
40%?
Yeah,
Wow,
around
it's
that.
pretty
Yeah,
obvious you're a
75,
lot better at
35.
math than I am.
Yeah, sorry.
So- And permit fees, look at that. Permit fees went up $500,000 between, from fiscal year 1920 to 2021.
Yes,
So that's awesome.
Yep.
You also did 11,000 building permit inspections, so that's a bunch of them. That's forming and then
foundation all the
concrete,
way to finish.
and all those people fall under you. And what year did you were doing it exclusively for a while here, right?
Yes, sir, from 2012 until 2019.
And then you stopped and it went down 300 permits. Somebody over on your staff is slacking. I'm just saying.
Oh, I get the best staff.
Yeah, we know you do. That's awesome. So I guess this just really goes to show, we talked quite a bit about the amount of people coming into town and people complaining about contractors not being able to get stuff done. This is why. It went up in 1 year, it went up from 248 to 402. We know already this year that things are moving along swiftly.
Yes, still the same pace.
You're doing about 35 or 40 permit homes a month?
A month, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. As of yesterday, we already have 30. So we got a few, so 5 should be easy for the next 2 or 3 days. So
That's awesome. Well, Jeff, do we have anything else that we need to?
No, I think we're on top of it. We're
Once the bridge is
Oh, wait, we got
finished
one here.
by the Anderson Building, you know, housing will follow. Mojave Crossroads Shopping Center will boom. Yeah, I've had some discussions with, and I know you have, but you probably don't want to disclose anything. I've had some discussions with the owner of that property down there and their plans. We need to get further along on the bridge before he's going to disclose what he wants to do. I know that he's working closely with Toby. I would assume he's
Yes.
working closely with you.
Yes.
And me, he just leaks me stuff every once in a while. So
and that was the same question in YouTube. So you.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
yep, we try.
Well, I think you're doing a fantastic job. I
you.
got a whole list here of things that fall under your purview there. Complaints for code enforcement, they all end up coming through you, appealing on permits and inspections and permit fees and ordinances and planning and zoning commission. You're a busy guy.
I just try to do what I can for the city.
Are you still happy that your wife sent in that
Oh,
application for you?
Absolutely.
All right,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Well, so are we.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go. Thank
And
you, sir. I
thank
appreciate it.
Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We have David Sanders from Fox Hound Home Inspections. Do you know David?
Yes.
He's a home inspector. He'll be here tomorrow for our Valley Voices at 4 o'clock. And don't forget, tomorrow morning at 7:30, we have our Daily Dose. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you again.